Hello there friends, today is mostly a news release as a lot of things suddenly happened. Reshuffles in Virtus.pro, Harumi turned out to be a money scammer, and Carrigan hates Donk, new major rules, no open qualifiers now, and also many other things. We will talk about all of it, and in the end, a couple of words about the finals of IEM Dallas. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. So we shall start with the changes in Virtus.pro. Now it's official. The rumors have been around for a long time, but after the failed IEM Dallas, everything accelerated. Dastan is no longer the coach of the team. For now, he will be replaced by their analyst, Pasha Noj. We'll talk about the departure a little later, but for now, fans have lashed out at the org for how insensitive they were in saying goodbye to their legendary coach. It was with Dastan that James traveled this long road. It was with him that the major was won, and VP simply wrote, relieved of his duties. Like, no thanks for the long years, no thanks for the wins, nothing. However, after all, VP's CEO appeared in the comments and answered many questions. No one said goodbye to Dastan, and there's no need to write him off. He's staying in Virtus.pro. We will meet and exchange thoughts on how Dastan's resource and experience can be useful for us. Even if VP had made it to the playoffs, I think we would have come to this anyway, because such decisions are not made overnight. Dastan has been in VP for quite a long time. We had different periods and results. There was even a period when he didn't work with the team, but we managed to overcome that and come back to the cooperation. You can't consider Dastan in isolation from everything else. He has been working with James for 7 years. As for James and all the rumors about him getting kicked, he's under contract until 2027, everyone knows that. James is the backbone of our CS squad. He has been for a long time and will be for the foreseeable future. We have James' contract line in our office with a new date and signature left for him to renew after 2027. So far we trust in him both as a CS professional and as a loyal person who is one of the VP frontmen. On Electronic and his transfer, right after the Paris major, he was claimed by 3 clubs at once. And then the price tag could really go up to $1.5 million, as insiders say. But we at Virtus.pro spent much less, but still over $1 million. Wow, my friends, surprising for this kind of a PR statement, but we did hear answers for questions. Dastan isn't going anywhere, he's staying in the club system, maybe he'll be like Blade in his time, like a sports director or something. All the rumors about James are just rumors, he has a contract until 2027, and judging by the words of the CEO, there's not even a thought of changing the captain yet. And, well, we also heard about the Electronics price tag. And according to Overdrive, the next coach will be Homa from 9 Pandas. But it still won't be enough, and eventually there will be player replacements. So, we'll see. And since we touched it a little bit, let's talk about Cloud9. Well, actually, there's basically nothing to talk about. No team, no tournaments, and also no bright future. Okay, but what about rumors? For example, according to Harumi, Cloud9 are currently testing the 15-year-old Kazakh player, Sifo. He's currently playing at Spirit Academy. And, unexpectedly, Danists as OP. In short, this whole thing turns out to be very strange. Coach Hooch recorded a video where he sits on the pracs with the team. That was a response to Overdrive's words, but let's not get into the drama.
Тренировка по методике Алексея Overdrive, как бы работаю. Видите.
We're here only to see the Kazakh talent Sifo in the same frame, so it seems realistic. And also remember how we talked about Chaos and Heavy God in the last episode? Chaos's girlfriend wrote that yes, a month ago it was relevant, but certainly not now. It's all fiction now, just like with Heavy God, who played on LAN in Mongolia yesterday and physically could not play pracs with Cloud9. So my guys, that's the way it is. For now, Cloud9 is a huge mess. I've never seen something like that before. From one of the best teams in the world on paper to this in just 6 months. I wonder what will come out of it. Write your solutions below. Maybe even Cloud9 needs an international roster, or for example, a North American one? And by the way, speaking of, Heavy God and OG flew to this Mongolian LAN and lost to the Mongolian Dream Team. These guys are placed 120 on HLTV, and OG lost 0-12 on the decisive map. Yeah, that's tough. And again, speaking of Harumi, he recently was in a big scandal. First, a YouTuber named Khaldun came out with an expose. He said that Harumi cheated him for $100 on an advert, and then it turned out that there were a lot of people like him, cheating in giveaways and paid ads, advertising scam projects, and so on. In general, he made a whole 10-minute video with screenshots, calculations, proofs, and so on. Plus, people started actively discussing it in the media and in the community. Dosia wrote that it would be necessary to find more dirt on Harumi, and Zoner said that this act is vile and it's necessary to solve all this and return all the money. Anyway, some tough drama days in the Eastern Europe. According to Harumi, this is all his fault, but he has already sacked the manager, plus he had a lot of personal problems. And because of this, he didn't follow up, and now he will personally clean the mess. He'll get it all back and sort it out. Well, presumably. And we go further, and the other day there was a huge wave of bans among case farmers. According to various sources, about 300,000 accounts were banned. Just imagine. There's never been a purge like this before. Farmers say that Eric Shokov's video had a huge impact. Well, and perhaps Valve just does it before a huge update, like it has always been so, just now the scale is cosmic. Farmers themselves are shocked by what is happening, trying to solve the issue, well, and say that if it were not them, the cases and skins would be much more expensive. All in all, seems logical, especially since after this wave of bans, some cases really increase in price. I mean, I personally don't even know what to say here, because on one side, these farmers just found a loophole in the system and are profiting from it. On the other side, it's too unethical. Write your thoughts about this situation in the comments below, if you have any. And now a couple of words about replacements in Team Liquid and possibly G2. And then, onto the hottest thing. As you know, Team Liquid got knocked out of IEM Dallas, and this was rumored to be the last tournament that the management will judge the future on. Since they didn't make it to the playoffs, it looks like they're gonna have replacements with some of the players. Like, again, Carrigan, Yikinder, and all that. We talked about that in the previous episode. Anyways, the captain himself is well aware. Here's what he said. I know something about the team's future, but I don't know other things. I think it will become clearer in the next few days. There are some things that are not happening the way they should, but at the end of the day I just want to be where I'm happy, where I can show myself and where I'm full of energy. I'd like to be in a place where everyone has complete trust in me as a leader. It could be in this team or in some other team. Yo bros, so basically he's saying that he's first not happy in Team Liquid and second, not everyone follows his orders. Am I right? And basically that's the kind of thing that usually results in an instant reshuffle. Let's wait and see what happens. Well, and G2 is here just to not let Carrigan be alone. You know, they had a pretty successful run at IEM Dallas with Stewie. Even Taz didn't expect this. I feel that Stewie2K fits very well into the role that HooXi plays in our team. He creates space, breaks in, sacrifices himself, brings us wins in difficult situations, and all that. He is really proving himself well, and that surprised me. And again, basically, he's doubting if he really needs HooXi. And according to Stewie, it appears that they're winning because Nico is very comfortable. To be honest, it's Nico's show. As long as he's comfortable, we win. We have to listen to what he says, what he needs from us, and then he makes a decision and we act. And again, it's what you read between the lines. So basically, Nico is not comfortable with HooXi, right? And now, since they won IEM Dallas, what will happen next? And now, my friends, the biggest blast and the main breaking news piece of the half year. Valve have changed the rules of the majors. Before, everything was clear and obvious, such as there are top teams with invites immediately in closed qualifiers, and there are a few slots available for blue-collar workers through open qualifiers. Like, each of us could gather a 5 and go need some shit and believe in a fairy tale. tale. Maybe you'll get lucky and get to the close qualifiers, or use cheats, raider hacks, or other illegal methods to get stickers. And that's apparently the big problem that Valve decided to fix with this update. So the other day, Perfect World, which is the organizer of the Shanghai Major, released updated rules. No more open qualifiers for Europe and America, only closed qualifiers and by invites only. And how you get that invite? Well, being the top 46 of Valve's rankings. That's it. There's no other way to get to the major if you're a team from Europe or America. Asia? Well, it works for them. Still. Well, and I have a feeling that there's gonna be a lot of European teams and players trying their luck in that region, if they are allowed. And it turns out we no longer will see all sorts of incredible stories, as for example the golden Polish 5 from Virtus.pro who made it through the open qualifiers and then won the major. Or how we first saw Boomich and he appeared with Quantum Bellator Fire. In general, there's a whole list of such heroes who had a real fairy tale, thus giving hundreds of thousands of players around the world motivation and faith that you can even tomorrow gather a team and touch the greatest tournament in the history of CS. Although, my friends, it's clear that part of this is due to the qualifiers from the last major. Remember how many fails there were, a million cheaters, raider hackers, servers getting DDoS and all that. In short, it was complete hell, but still, you at least had such an opportunity. Now it is no more. And the weirdest thing about this whole situation is how to get into close qualifiers at all, how to get points from Valve, what are they even looking at, and how does it work? Well, nobody knows. Our favorite little indie company doesn't share anything with the community. Why, for example, some tags repeat on the list of their rankings and so on. They only have this GitHub page with some goddamn high mathematics and all that. It's incomprehensible to me, for example, and to most of esports players. But there are actually some criteria that Valve looks at the most. First, wins at huge tournaments. Such are primarily judged by prize money. There's a theory that, for example, BB Dacha with prize pool of $300,000 is estimated almost as well as the ESL Pro League because it has $170,000 assigned for the first place. Second, it's vital to participate in as many tournaments as possible and show good results there. It shows a team's form. Well, and each reshuffle reduces your points naturally. I repeat, no one knows the full formula except for the developers themselves. There is a theory that the formula simply doesn't exist and they almost at random make this up. But again, there's this GitHub page, so I believe it. But for example, Eternal Fire is in the 6th place, and VP, G2 and Cloud9 are lower. Or M0NESY were given 30 points for defeating Vitality in a best of 3, but before that they were deducted 27 points for losing to Bestia in a best of 1. I mean, how does that work? What's the logic? And so the community looked at all this, and now they have only one solution.
Вот так-то лучше.
The community has started a petition for Valve to bring back open qualifiers, and Entropique stated as well that they're not happy with the new rules. And you know what, my friends, most of the top teams just stay silent, and top players as well. Surely that's logical, because they will have no problems with reaching top 46 or even getting direct invites. But overall, I haven't found almost a single good word from the pro players. Everyone unanimously shouts that this is all very bad, and for example, KRL, the insider, wrote some important things. This update is a disaster. Valve aimed to open up the circuit by 2025, but it's gonna be the exact opposite. The same teams will continuously receive invites to every Blast, ESL tournaments and majors. farming ranking points and blocking any new teams from entering the top 15. Basically, with the new system, even if top 5 players, example, ZYWOO, Donk, Robs, Nico and M0NESY formed a new team today, they wouldn't be able to qualify for the upcoming major. Or here's what Shocks said, for example. I know it sucks, but having open qualifiers without a proper anti-cheat is also a big problem. We again suffered way too much from it on the last ones. Get a proper anti-cheat, work on it, you have all the resources for it. Counter-Strike, fight the problem, don't remove it with the kids' dreams. And Peter, a legendary player once, told a cool story. Hey Counter-Strike, I remember back in 2014 you guys told me and my team in person that you wanted CS to be a game where 5 friends would have the possibility to qualify for a major. How are they gonna do that with closed qualifiers only? Yeah, that's right. And the only one who found it to be a good thing is M0NESY. I agree with Valve's decision. Too many cheaters, they use raider hacks and so on. It's disgusting. Yeah, I mean, if you can't beat the cheaters, just close the access to everyone. Sounds logical. In general, people are as dissatisfied as possible, and Valve, they're still silent, as always. Maybe they will come to their senses and return it all to as it was, but probably not. Friends, well, how do you feel about these new rules? Write in the comments below, let's discuss. Maybe some of you have genius ideas that Valve can steal, take. Now, here's what I think. There are several sides to it. Firstly, teams will miss the top tournaments less often. But next year there will be so many that I don't see how they won't run out of steam. Plus, maybe the tier 2 scene will come alive, where there will be more championships to win points and maybe some top teams will participate and all that. For example, a top team failed at the EPL, they will have to play a couple of CCTs to get the points back. But on the other hand, no one cancelled match fixers or cheaters on such tournaments. If even at the moment the tier 2 scene is a nightmare with raider hacks all over the place, if they get more tournaments, quality will obviously not grow. In general, we have more questions than answers, as always, and it's a pity that now we will not see the old icons get into F5 and play qualifiers like, for example, Get Right did recently. Purely for fun and for the sake of the content. It won't happen anymore. On the other hand, maybe it's just only for the Shanghai Major. They will just build the new anti-cheat, or they will realize that they have made something bad and they will return it as it was. Or maybe offer a new option. And yeah, just listen to this. Now the final blast and the qualifiers will be played on the same day, but I think they will get through it. In general, and to conclude, this whole thing now is a mess. Let's see where it will lead us. Write your thoughts in the comments below. And there's also some news that came in from Carrigan. You know what he said about Donk? Just listen to it.
Put everything into this fucking map now, okay? Not gonna fucking let 70-year-old kid fucking raise that trophy. You listen to me, boys?
Bro, he cannot even lift it himself, guys.
Exactly. They need the fucking manager to lift it for him. Let's fucking go. Mr. Spaghetti Arm is not fucking getting this trophy. I don't give a shit, boys. Give him MVP, make him happy little kid, but this is our fucking tournament, boys.
Wow, Carrigan's talking. Great that Donk already responded to it in the game and sent face down the drain. And for now, my friends, a couple of words about IEM Dallas. I wanted to insert the playoffs part here, but it's too long and too eventful, so I will make a separate video, so don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and comment to motivate me to do it faster. But for now, let's talk only about the winners, G2. And man, they did it. Holy crap, they did it, and they did it in style, without HooXi, Nico as a captain, and stewing Tonius 2000 as a stand-in. What a beautiful story. And here's a couple of records that happened. Nexa has won his first ever S-tier tournament. Yeah, I'm not kidding, it's his first ever. And an interesting fact about Taz, the coach of the team, he won the first ever IEM as a player a long time ago. And now, since IEM Dallas was the 100th, he won it as a coach as well. So that's kinda era, you know? And also, Stewie won his first S-tier event since 2019, so I guess NACS is back. And obviously M0NESY got the MVP medal. He's the best player of 2024, no doubt. No Donk or ZYWOO can stand near him. His consistency and high level of play in important matches is just unreachable. Congratulations to G2, it was legendary. And Nico as a captain, I guess it works. And again, we'll talk about the whole tournament in a separate video, so follow the channel if you're interested and hit the like button as well. And a fun fact at the end, XQC, well, you know him, he earned more money on IEM Dallas than G2. What? How? He placed a bet of $100,000 on G2 winning 2-1 against Vitality in the grand finals. What in the name of God is this? Wow, this guy just bets $100,000. That's confidence. At least he's not like Drake. Anyways, I'm not saying goodbye for a long time, my friends. See you soon.